Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm PixieStyx. Thank you for choosing to spend some of your time with me today. I decided that I would do a paint with me video this week. I do have some vlog footage, but I've been kind of having some trouble getting myself motivated to do a lot of vlogging or the type of editing that I typically do with my vlogs. I've been having some mental health struggles lately, which is something that I've been dealing with most of my life, and it just kind of comes and goes. Even though I do take medication to help with it, it's just something that has its ups and downs, I guess. And that actually kind of leads me into what I wanted to talk about during this video. But before I get started with the topic, this is a paint with me video, so if you are interested in getting your sketchbook out or your other painting supplies or drawing supplies and drawing along with me, that would be awesome. I know I really enjoy watching videos like this and listening while I do my own work. This isn't gonna be scripted or anything, I'm just speaking my mind. So take it with a grain of salt. I might forget one or two things that I wanted to say or ramble a little bit. I'll try to cut most of the rambling out. So the topic I want to discuss is kind of about artist burnout, but more about the things that I've been seeing recently, especially floating around social media. The gist of these things that I've been seeing is that as artists, you really should remember to rest and make sure you take it easy and don't be too hard on yourself, and don't let the algorithm rule your output, I guess. And it's true that the algorithm of Instagram or YouTube or whatever social platform you're on can definitely become kind of a slave driver. And what these posts are mostly saying is just create what you love and do it at your own pace, and the algorithm can just exist outside of that. And I think it's great advice, except I don't know how you're supposed to follow that advice if you're trying to build a following. So what I mean by that is, a lot of people will say, you know, all those things, but then whenever you watch a video about how to grow your YouTube or your Instagram, the number one thing those tip videos always say is to be consistent and to keep to a schedule that can be predicted by your followers so they can rely on you, which seems to go in direct opposition to what these recent social media posts have been saying, which is basically ignore the algorithm and create quality work and let it take as long as it needs to take to get it done, so that you don't burn out or create work that isn't up to par for what you want just to get it out in time to meet your consistent deadline. So then it seems like we're getting two very opposing messages, and it seems to me like a lot of the people saying to not let the algorithm rule your life and burn you out are the ones who already have pretty large followings. So I feel like once you've gotten to that point where you do have a following, then maybe you do have a bit more leniency to kind of relax a little bit and take breaks, and people are loyal to you already, so you can just say, hey guys, I need to take a little bit of extra time on this artwork, and so my video won't be up until X number of days, or my next post will be a little bit late. But people on the lower end of the community following, such as myself, I have about 1,000 Instagram followers and about almost 2,500 YouTube subscribers right now. And it's been slow getting there on both of those social medias. And part of the reason for that, I think, is because I am unable to follow a set routine for either one due to my full-time job and my family and things outside of those that I need to be doing, rather than making videos and artwork full-time to be able to post on social media at regular intervals. And this is really frustrating for me because in order to get to the point where I can post at regular intervals, I need to be able to lower my hours at work or quit my job and be a full-time artist. But I can't do that until I've grown a large enough following that I could replace my income that I'm currently getting through my full-time job. But in order to get to the point where I can build my community up to that point, I have to be posting on a regular basis and consistently, which I can't do because of my job. So it's a giant catch-22, and it goes around in circles, and it's exceedingly frustrating because I want to do this consistently. It's my dream to be able to do art for a living, and I'd love to be able to post 2 to 3 videos a week and post to Instagram every day because I'm able to spend time doing art that much that I have that much to post. It's just not a reality for me until I can replace my income that I'm currently making through my day job. So it's a little bit galling when I see these posts about how artists should take breaks and the algorithm is a slave driver and don't be a slave to the algorithm. I see these posts and I think, yeah, that I agree with that. I don't want to be a slave to the algorithm. I don't want to just put out crap art because I need to post to a schedule. But at the same time, I haven't been doing those things because I've heard this advice before. I haven't been a slave to the algorithm and I just post whenever I am ready to. And then I don't grow very fast. So I see other channels who have risen up and passed me in following and community because they're able to post 2 to 3 times a week. And it's very clear to see the difference in what's working and what isn't. And truthfully, there have been times that I've been very close to giving up on the whole thing and just resigning myself to the fact that I need to just plan to work until I retire and just have art as a hobby, and maybe trying to live my dream is a childish and irresponsible pursuit at my age, because trying to build this community and build my channel and build my Instagram and my art business, those activities do take away time that I could otherwise be spending with my family or sleeping because really the only time I have to work on these things is either late at night when everybody's asleep and thus I don't sleep much, or when everyone's awake and I'm not spending time with them because I'm trying to work on these goals to pursue my dream, which is in part my dream because I want to be able to spend more time with my family and be home all the time and work for myself so that I can choose my own hours and be there for them more. But the longer it takes to get there, the more they're growing up and I'm spending not as much time with them because I'm trying to be able to be self-employed so I can spend more time with them. It's another catch-22. And at what point should you put aside your dream and just admit that it's not working, you know? And every time I say that to myself, I immediately, in my head, argue with myself and say, no, you shouldn't have to give up on your dream. If you work hard enough, then you can succeed. And you know, from an early age, society teaches us that we should be able to achieve any dream we set for ourselves and that we can be anything we want to be. But in truth, the world doesn't owe you a living, you know? So it's not other people's responsibility to make sure that your dream comes true. So most of it's going to have to involve your perseverance and your hard work and your sacrifices. And consistency. And unfortunately, no matter how hard I try, the consistency is the one that really messes everything up, because I just can't fit in everything I need to fit in a week. So sometimes these things definitely contribute to my negative mental health issues, because I just go around in circles in my mind. And I don't have the answers. I don't know if anyone does. But I just wanted to put it out there because I feel like a lot of the studio vlogs I watch and other channels that I watch, they're also cheerful all the time. And they do talk about this a little bit, but they don't talk about how it is when you're not growing. But I like to think that I still have something to give the community, and I really enjoy the interactions I have with those of you who do watch my videos and comment, and with my patrons who support me, and everyone who follows me on Instagram. I really enjoy that kind of interaction, especially during this past year when there hasn't been much in-person interaction. It's valuable to have a community that you can feel a part of. And through this community, I've met several people who I would consider my friends, and they're wonderful people I wouldn't have met if I didn't have a YouTube channel and if I didn't interact with other people who also did this in their spare time or for a living in some cases. And I think it's a wonderful platform. And I'm so grateful for it and for everybody I've met who I now can call my friends. For me, YouTube makes me feel more like I'm part of a community than any other social media. Unfortunately, it also takes the most time to create content for. Lately, I've been creating more content for TikTok because it's quicker to make and edit and post on there than it is here on YouTube, and my content gets viewed more over there because it's short and it only takes, a few seconds to watch. But I still don't think it's as personal as YouTube is. You really can't have a conversation like this one, for instance, on a shorter format video. And I know this isn't necessarily the most positive chat I've ever had, but the world isn't sunshine and rainbows all the time, and I don't want to be false on my channel and just be peppy all the time even when I don't feel peppy. And I'm not saying that I want to quit YouTube, and I do want to keep trying, and I'd love to say that the numbers don't matter and I'm doing this just for fun, and it is fun. And I love it with every fiber of my being. But in order to continue doing it, I have to get to the point where I can sustain it monetarily, because right now I'm doing it mostly at the expense of my own sleep, which isn't the healthiest, but it has to be that way if I want to put videos out until I get to a point where I can reduce my hours at work so I have time during the day to work on these things. And I know some of you out there can relate to this. I know a lot of people who are also struggling to make their dream a reality and become self-employed and turn their passion into a business. And we gotta hang in there together and support each other, because it's just, you see other people be super successful at it, especially in a short amount of time, and it can really make you wonder what you're doing wrong or what's less attractive about your art or you as a person. than the other people who are able to grow their following faster. And sometimes you do the best you can and it still isn't working out. And then you just have to keep trying or keep changing things to try and hit that note with people that's gonna speak to them in a way that makes them want to be part of what you're doing. I don't know, these are just some thoughts that I've been having for a while, and when I see those posts on social media about artists trying to do too many things and be too many things and that we should just relax, it does make me kind of frustrated because, boy, I'd relax if I could. But I feel like that's not gonna get me where I really want to be. I guess I'm just feeling that frustration lately, and it's affected my YouTube channel because it's made me lose motivation for vlogging and for editing my vlogs and everything. So I just wanted to come on here and do a chill paint with me video and chat with you guys about what I'm feeling. If you can relate, leave me a comment down below and let me know I'm not alone. Also, I wanted to say I'm not talking about all this to try and get sympathy from you guys or to try to get more people to subscribe to me or anything like that. I just want to honestly put out there what I'm thinking and feeling, and I know some of you guys are in the same boat, and so it helps to have someone who feels the way you do and vocalize that. So I guess that's basically what I wanted to discuss. TLDR, we're getting mixed messages online about whether we should be consistent with our posting or whether we should relax and not let the algorithm run our lives. And it's very frustrating as a small creator. With that, I'd like to talk a little bit about the piece I'm working on here. I've been really wanting to do another gouache painting. So this started out being that, but I also recently got some Castle Arts acrylic paints, and the gouache portion of this painting wasn't really working out. I had put an acrylic layer underneath to try and give the gouache something to sit on top of. I had done that previously on a gouache study I did, but I think it was actually a bad move because it made it to where the gouache could not lay down smoothly on top of the acrylic paint. So I decided to just jump in with these acrylic paints and turn this into an acrylic painting in my sketchbook. This paper definitely is not made for acrylics or paint in general. I'm just using the Illo sketchbook, but once I went in with the acrylics, it took it pretty well. I really don't know what I'm doing with acrylic paints. I haven't really had a lot of experience with them, but I do really like, I don't know, their texture. It's a lot more full than the watercolor and gouache paintings that I've been doing lately. I definitely think I want to experiment with it a little bit more. Maybe even paint on the cover of my sketchbook. I don't know if I should do that with gouache or acrylics. What do you think? Let me know down below. I am over halfway done with this sketchbook finally, which is a big thing for me because I started it in 2019. Yep. I am very slow when it comes to filling my sketchbook. Anyway, so I just wanted to paint a pretty self-indulgent piece with my favorite colors and make a pretty sky with some clouds in the desert. I love pieces like this. It's definitely not one to hang on the wall, but I really like that it's in my sketchbook and I enjoy looking at the finished piece. So I hope you enjoyed watching it come together, and I hope you were able to paint along also, or sketch along, or work along, or whatever you were doing. And thanks for allowing me to be real with you guys and chat about what I'm feeling, even if it's not the most positive of feelings. we probably all have those kinds of things going on in our minds, and sometimes it's really palate cleansing to be able to just put them out there, I guess. Anyway, I hopefully will be able to get my studio vlog edited for next week. It might be pretty long just because there have been several weeks in between posting one, but it might not be super long because I haven't been able to pick up the camera and vlog very much lately. I appreciate each and every single one of you who watched this video all the way to the end here. If you did make it to this point, please click the like button down below. It really helps out my video and my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everybody!